Ah, you can see the conditions here are rough, but they are real. I'll do a panorama. Now, under this tarp is an Axelson lathe, but I got a light bulb going, and I've got a light bulb going here. This is the Morris Moorespeed drill press. I should have a tarp on the old truck, but you got to be careful. They can get moldy inside vehicles, you know. This requires extreme care. Yes, that is a 1989 Chevrolet pickup, 1 ton, 454 Thunder Chicken engine package, 4-speed transmission. Terribly uncomfortable, but it works. Okay. Oh, terrible, terrible. It's freezing cold. Let's get inside. Oh, oh, oh. Nice and warm in here. Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, what a nice refuge from April snow. So this is what I got going today, back in here. And it looks like I'm going to stay in here. You know, I'm going to be in here today. And I do this every day because what's on television is pretty bad. I've seen all of the Matlock reruns and Murder, She Wrote, and one of those other great ones, Bonanza, seen all of that. So, you know, the politicians and stuff like that. There was a comedian during my dad's time. His name was Will Rogers, and he'd like get on stage, you know, and he had a little lasso and he'd do this stuff. But he said something really profound, is that don't worry about it. We've got the best politicians money can buy. Okay, so what I got going in here, because I can't solve the world's problems, is I got boring bars to sharpen. This has been going on it's chronic now. And I got to kind of straighten stuff up. But I've got a lot going, and I really got to make more progress on this milling machine, because I tell you what, that snow we saw outside, it's going to go away, and it's going to get warm, and I'm going to knock this wall out here a little bit, and I can move these Monarchs out, and then I can squeeze that Axelson and the radial drill in here. And I've said in early videos, this is going to be like a Navy ship machine shop, and more specifically, a submarine machine shop. And I have some advantages there, because the instructor at the community college here during the 70s up until I think the early 90s was a Navy machinist. And he arranged the machine shop in such a way that he had a lot more machines than most schools would have. You know, he had everything. He had everything but a planer. Didn't have a planer in there, but everything else, and sometimes multiples. You know, every type of mill. He had cutter grinder and surface grinders, and just lots of different lathes. You know, all manual. He had everything from a 9-inch South Bend to I think it's at least a 24, 25-inch swing Axelson with an extremely long bed. It was over 10 feet. And that was quite a machine. I got to run that a couple of times. And one of the things about that program was when I took classes there, see, I was a working machinist. And it was a neat deal. I could go there and take classes, and I learned the beginnings of tool and cutter grinding. And then in my own work, learned quite a bit more, in specific things. And I learned, that's why I really picked up a lot on just grinding in general, was at the local community college. But I did have quite a bit of experience before on lathes and mills. And I've got a funny story there. Was the instructor thought I was so terrible operating those machines, he had to retrain me. And so I had to take an extra quarter, at the time they went by quarters, on being retrained to operate stuff that he thought I was too terrible to let loose in his school shop. So that was a lot of fun. And I did learn an awful lot before I went back to my previous bad habits, or some of them, And I've worked with machinists that have taken a lot of chances. And I've worked in industry, and I was actually doing a job that was really dangerous, and I quit working at this particular shop. And then a couple years later, this thing doesn't hang good there. A couple years later, another shop got that job, and a worker got killed doing it. And it was polishing long pieces of tubing for a ridiculous reason. But you just, you got to be careful sometimes. But anyway, this is kind of a neat deal for me, what I'm doing here. And I do things pretty cheaply. I don't have a whole lot invested in the older stuff. Like buying 10 EEs and stuff. I bought the nice 10 EE before everybody knew what they were. So I kind of got a little bit ahead of the game there. But I don't know, I hope y'all can get a little bit out of what I do. And another aspect of what I do that I think people don't understand is I'm a businessman. I've run businesses in motorcycles. I had machine shops, and I was a Harley Davidson dealer, for crying out loud. You ought to try that one. You learn a lot in that business. And I tell you what, I got through that without a single tattoo. Think about it. But one of the things up in this end of the country is I think things are a little bit less disciplined and loose. And one thing I want to point out up in this country, it's kind of difficult in a lot of ways. A local foundry is just in the paper, got fined nearly $100,000 for a whole bunch of L&I violations. And it doesn't take very much. And I don't know, you gotta be very, very careful. And I want to point this out to people that are in business. It's like here in Washington State, if you buy a barrel of solvent, like Stoddard solvent, you better be able to account for every gallon of it. And that goes for a lot of different chemicals and oils and stuff. So one of the things that I was able to do was do work for equipment companies that would take waste oil and things like that, and shied away from stuff that you can't dispose of. But you just got to watch out for those kind of liabilities, and watch out for moving into rented spaces that have been previously polluted. Okay, you can see that being a pinch point. Okay, well, it's Too cold to be outside, so I'll get busy in here with all this stuff. Thanks for checking it out. Bye.